The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Now broadcasting from the Right to Offend Media Studios in sunny South Florida, bringing you the latest in politics, current events, art, and pop culture. This is the Whitfield Report live with Sam Whitfield.
But giving offense is good. In fact, it's essential.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's edition of the Whitfield Report Live.
If you can hear our voices, you are in the good timeline. Go ahead, Sam.
The very good timeline. I hope everyone is doing well, and I somewhat apologize for last week's episode because I was listening back, and we were all admittedly half asleep. But we had been like,
we made up for it with the high energy election stream, though.
Literally like
right?
7 out. I think like 7 and even more say through that was the one time where like he didn't have to go to the moon to fight Nazis because his internet was stable. So, but anyway, how are you gentlemen doing? I'm still like riding the victory high.
You know me, Sam. I disengage from the news a lot. I've been watching news this week. I've been watching the left. I've been trying to gauge them. I because I'm sorry, but the same grifter takes on the right get boring to me. It's the same guys in the same things about the same 5 news stories. But what's interesting to me is like, how does the left frame this loss? Who are the reasonable voices, which surprised me who I think they might be, and kind of a sense of, is there a populist movement burgeoning in the left as it has with the MAGA movement on the right? All these questions and more might be answered tonight, live on the Whitfield Report, Sam.
Well, that's a good introduction.
Also, Sam, I looked through the magical mirror, okay, into the other timeline where Trump lost, and I'm gonna tell you what the left is saying over there. So I got plenty for you, Sam. Sorry, Mortheous. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's hear from Mortman.
And I've been watching the grifter left. Fucking lose their goddamn minds.
Oh yeah, they gotta get that attention economy, boy.
Yeah. That is one thing I kind of do want to point out because Monday. So Monday I usually do like an interview show, but it's kind of the windfall between like election season and the holidays. So people are kind of like, it's kind of the end of the year already in podcasting. So like, people are like doing final like interviews, and
sometimes you just do a stream of consciousness on Monday or whatever too.
Yeah. So, so don't worry. We will be having more guests, but I did a stream of conscious episodes, kind of reacting to some of the like the wacky, nutsos on the left.
Good, because we never let you talk. I keep hearing that, so it's good that you get that chance.
The giant doesn't let us talk, let you or me talk ever.
Surprisingly, Maxine,
he had some strong opinions on the weird reactions. Yeah,
she had some very strong opinions, and it's kind of
hashtag Maxine rant.
It's kind of Like she might be, you might be competing, Max, in your own household for the most based award now because she often the internet loves it.
Yeah,
So
she gets fairly upset about stuff. You heard her about wrestling. And then y'all guys wanted to tell her it was a work. She knows it's a work. She knows the fucking Walking Dead's a work too, but she watches the story the same way, bro. You kind of like walked into that not even realizing it. You were like, "Oh shit, yeah." I'm gonna explain this to her, and she's like, "I fucking know."
But without me walking and rolling into that, in my case, we might not have gotten the epic.
Don't lie, Sammy. You were walking.
Yeah, that one you walked into. Yeah, for sure.
Well, I'm walking on cloud 9 now.
As God would intend.
I'm walking on cloud 9 now, because of Trump's victory. That's how happy I am.
He cures cripples now. This is amazing. You heard it here first on the Whitfield Report. Trump?
But are you walking on sunshine?
I mean,
headline. We could get some attention economy with that, boy.
I mean, in Trump's economy more, it's always sunshine here. So
did you happen, Sam, to get a chance to listen? And Shmuley did some post-election coverage as well. I joined him, and Shmulina joined in, as well as Gushter, the red. We talked about a lot. It was a more serious news show than we usually do as well. Good stuff.
I listened to most of it this morning while I was working on book 4 of the Shadows of Deception saga coming 2025, and also while I'm doing promos, my hard-boiled crime anthology, Blood Ties, is now officially available on Amazon for purchase. It came out yesterday, in paperback, hardcover, and Amazon. So it's a short story collection that you can purchase, and I hope everyone likes it. It's a short story collection. It's not in the same universe as
it didn't seem like it.
Yeah, it's not in the same universe as Shadows of Deception, but it's still part of American Instinct publishing, so we like it. And I don't know. Oh, there it is.
I got a complaint, Sam. Apparently, it's not diverse enough, and you should add a gay love scene.
Well,
that's what the kids are into these days.
Gay cripple love scene.
Yeah, well, is it cripple on cripple, or is it cripple on a non-cripple?
Cripple on able-bodied.
Mortheous, you're the resident New York Italian guy here. Do you think the Mavi would be like?
Whoa! There's no mob, Sam. What are you talking about? You want Mort to have me whacked?
Well, we know that Mortheous is the Don of New York, so that's why he can never show. That's why he never shows his face, because if he did, then then his enemies would know where he's at.
It's more like the Don of rural New York.
I'm the Don of upstate, goddammit.
Yeah, the Don of upstate. Well, I mean, probably not even that, right? It's probably more localized than that. Don of one specific town.
You'd be surprised.
I mean,
yeah, Mort's influence is
that's them cripple. I told you guys get these cripple mind powers. And then you're like, no, Max, we don't have any freaking mind powers. And then it's like, yeah, everybody fucking loves me and worship the ground I fucking roll on. That's cripple mind power, Sam. You can't fool me. You can't fool a fooler.
You know what?
I played the fifth there, Max.
You know, I played the fifth though too. Although I guarantee you, Max, and I'm not even joking, some wokester is going to see that and be like, so it was those damn cripples that rigged the election for Trump because
That's right. You used your latent cripple psychic energy, right? And you directed the intent. You know, that's their. I mean, like, really, Sam, I mean, what we're working against on the one hand, like I said, I've been paying attention to the reasonable left, but you guys want to talk about the other one. And so what I'll say is my observation on the other part of the left, the attention economy left, is that they are just a bunch of communist lesbian witches.
Yeah. No,
I mean, you're not
so
wrong.
go off,
No,
my friends. Tell us about all these communist lesbian witches. You had to have seen some good ones this week.
Well, I mean, I saw some funny ones.
Maddow.
It was mostly you know, people just screaming in their cars, and then you know, people like.
What's it about the doing it in your car thing? Like, I see so many people that record videos in their cars. Is that the only place they can get 30 seconds of quiet?
Yes.
It makes sense.
Apparently, but then you know, I honestly do have to wonder. Like, part of me has to like think that some of them at least do it for like. Some of them may not be serious. Like, I imagine that there are some comedians out there.
Oh, most of them are either not serious or they're playing it. I mean, you set up a camera to then cry. It's not completely serious. It's just not. That's why I don't pay as much. Like, I've seen compilations of freakouts. They're very funny. Some screams, some whys, some I'm cutting my dad off. The ones my wife pointed out with the fuck is it? The Aqua Tofana girls talking about they're gonna poison men. You know how stupid those fucking bitches are, right? They're talking about putting it in a ring. You know, like, that's what got those original broads that did that in like the 1700s caught, is because they poisoned them damn selves with the rings. And those were like old sterling silver rings. These bitches be using plastic. Good luck. Rest in peace on that one. Also, saying you're going to poison people on the internet. FBI, anybody, please? These, like, are they, like, they make it so that they sound serious. Can we just have somebody ask them?
Yeah.
No harm in asking. They would ask us
nice.
if we said anything reproaching that.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. No,
as a guy that's advocated against, you know, like, violent rhetoric, or advocating violence, like pointing out the futility of it for so many years, I think it's about time that the people saying it get held to account for the things that they say, because yes, it is a fringe, small minority of crazy TikTok bitches, right?
Yeah.
But they're threatening to kill people en masse. So you should probably look into that. And they're doing it publicly, which is, you know, what, terror groups? That's a terrorism. That's what that is, Sam. That's terrorism.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Where's that Patriot Act at when they're fucking committing terrorism on TikTok, right?
That's only for the right there, though, Max.
Yeah.
It's only for whoever the establishment doesn't like. And that right now, that's us. But then again, they have to deal with us. Eat a dick.
So, with that in mind, Max, you and I have both been listening to, you know, some people on like the rational left, who are not freaking out, and so, like,
did anybody kill themselves yet? I want to go over the crazies first, right? Are they? I have seen mention of suicides, but is that real? Probably is to some degree, right?
The guy that offed his entire family is real, unfortunately.
Jesus, man. Dude, we lost, like, and they act like it's different, but we lost in 2020 and nobody murdered their family. That's insane. That's wild. If that's even remotely legitimate, Like, if you think that's an acceptable way to take an election loss, you know, we need mental health help in this fucking country. That's one thing. Maybe RFK will bring that to the forefront, Sam, because it seems to be that if you're mentally ill in America now and you're a danger to yourself and others, they just say,
You know,
How about we reopen the fucking mental hospitals?
yeah.
you know,
Ethical asylums now. I've been saying this. Like, we have the technology, right, Sam? With cameras and other ways that we can hold people accountable that they didn't have in 1880, right? But if you
Without doxing myself, we've got a closed down mental facility in my area that could be opened up real quick.
Sure, and many that could be renovated and be ready very quickly as well. But when I say asylums, people have this like mental block about asylums, right? Because they think about the horrors of an asylum. But the reason asylums were different than just the fucking crazy house, they had those where they just go to lock you up. The asylum was a place where you got to live and you could be a part of the town, right? You could go to town, buy stuff. You weren't locked up. You just had people managing you, making sure you took your medications and you weren't about to go off and kill some people, right? And I don't see why that they think that is unethical. Sure, the experimentation done in some cases was super unethical, and the abuses of the system in the 1800s were horrific. And even into the early 1900s. But here's the thing is like we have security cameras. We have like we could set up government accountability offices for this kind of thing. Like we can make sure that people aren't being abused in mass. People act like we can't. And people also act like there's no dignity in them being like halfway. It's the idea, Sam, of a place that's, yeah, maybe they could function out in society. They don't need to be locked up 24/7, but they do need help. And they do need consistent help with like living, making sure that they pay their bills and things like that. People know people like this, right? There's one in your town probably that's out there with a sign, right? That might say crazy shit or they're begging for money, one or the other. That's what these were for, right? And we lost it because of the corruption and the abuse. But I think if we made a new program where we set out to be like halfway houses specifically for people who are mentally ill, where you don't get treated like a criminal, because that's the thing about the mental health system. A lot of people avoid treatment because inpatient treatment is basically the same as going to jail. Only you have less rights because you're not charged with any crime, right? And you have the added bonus of everything you say, they say you're crazy, right?
Well, yeah. Even on like a less, I guess, severe basis, like there are a lot of people in this country who suffer from depression, and
Right.
I'm not necessarily like antidepressants to the point where like I don't think anyone should be on them. I do think that there are cases where they can be helpful, but I have
on a case-by-case basis, that's between a patient and a doctor, right?
Yeah, but I have noticed, at least
Right.
kind of in my experience and just from people I know, that seems to kind of be the kind of the go-to for most doctors these days. And Joe Rogan was talking with I can't remember his name right now, but one of the veteran guys he has on pretty regularly, who said that mushrooms and psilocybin might be helpful for that sort of thing. And I'm not an expert, but if the bureaucracy from the FDA can maybe get shrunk
You
down
mentioned specifically with PTSD and veterans for that stuff, right? And we're not talking about children or anything like that. It did fail. That was put up on the ballot in Massachusetts to legalize psilocybin and a couple other DMT. It failed. Massachusetts voted 90% for legal weed and 56% against legal psychedelics. So that tells you kind of where, I guess, our state's head is at on that. I kind of didn't care either way on that one. I don't do any of them type of things, and I'm not really sure how much benefit they have or not. But I would be open to saying, like, if people are saying that veterans are having success dealing with PTSD through this particular method of therapy, we should be studying it at least, make sure that's true or not, right?
Yeah.
You sent these guys to get mentally fucked up in the fucking desert or the fucking mountains or whatever, right? The least you could do is maybe like make sure they're okay. Don't just pump them full of pills and see what the best possible therapy they can get is, because they deserve the best, because these men fought for our country.
Yes, absolutely. That's my main point. Is I don't think pills should be the first and only response.
No, it should be whatever is best, and we should be always looking for best, because the pills suck. We can all acknowledge that the mental health pills, they work for the people they work for. That's great, but for the people they don't work for, there's so many cases of that, myself included. They put me on a bunch of that shit when I was a kid. I still have like hand tremors all the time because of it. So
they put me on that shit in my early 20s, and sure, I couldn't hit the fucking lows that I was hitting, but you can't hit the fucking highs either. You're just kind of a living zombie.
Yeah, it just zonked me out, and all I wanted to do was sleep. Yeah, and I got fat.
Yeah, day 15 for me was instant zombie mode.
This is the thing when they say trust the experts. You know, a couple of times in my life, I've actually really done that. Once was when I was like a preteen, and they put me on SSRI drugs that gave me permanent I don't want to call it a disability, but permanent consequences. Certainly, it was a injury caused by these pills neurologically, where I can't hold my hand steady to like sign a check or nothing. And then the second time I trusted, and it made me get fat, right? And it made me hate myself and want to sleep all the time, which obviously made me like the king of high school, right? You know, just everybody fucking, yeah. And then I got off that shit, and I lost a lot of weight, and I made my own way. Got back to being an active person. That's the thing. I'm an active person normally, right? Second time I listened to the experts, I didn't really have a choice. It was the lockdowns. You couldn't really go anywhere. They'd arrest you, and I gained weight and got depressed that time too. Yeah. All I'm saying is the experts have always just made me fat and depressed and given me permanent side effects.
Yeah,
let's put it this way. Both times that I've kind of quote unquote listened to the experts, thank God I found guitar and music, and second time again, COVID. Thank God I still had guitar, or point blank, I probably wouldn't be here.
Well, I was gonna say, both of you guys, if you really listened to the experts, you wouldn't be here, right? Because some experts said you guys would die at some point or another, and it's like, God, they're great at predicting that, huh? You know, that does wonders for somebody too.
Yeah, I can say that as someone who wasn't supposed to be here, and gosh, in 2 months, not even in January, I'll be 30. Also, I had
how many books did you publish this year?
Like
at the end of this month, I'll be 41.
3. And little fun facts, Max. I just realized this today. Trump is the only presidential candidate I've voted for since I was of legal voting age. So
that's crazy. I'll say he's the only candidate I voted for 3 fucking times.
Yeah, well, same here. So
I'll tell you, I could go back a little further. Obviously, I've always mentioned Pat Buchanan was the first one. Obviously, that was Bush v. Gore, and I just thought they were both terrible. I think I stand by that. Then it was Bush and Kerry, right? And I voted for what was it, Bill Barr, the Libertarian candidate. And in 2008, when everybody voted Obama, oh, he's so black, guys, we'll vote for him. I, being a policy nerd, wrote in Ron Paul.
Based.
And then in 2012, I'm looking at, because the Libertarian candidate at that point sucked. So I just wrote Ron Paul in because they screwed him in the primary, if you remember.
They really
And then
did.
in 2012, how the fuck could I vote for Romney? He was the governor of my state, so I knew intimately how much of a sleazeball he was. And also, Obama, can't vote for him, right? So I voted for Gary Johnson, which I immediately came to regret in 2016 because of his antics. But of course, in 2016, I didn't have to worry about I knew who the right candidate was the moment he came down the escalator, Sam. And I've stood by him ever since. And I fucking told you so, Sammy. I told you so.
Yeah. Yes, you did.
Shmuley and I predicted some of this stuff in like stunningly accurate detail, like because I've been going back to make sure that I'm not just reimagining our history. A year ago, we predicted some of the things that ended up in this election almost to the letter. I said 18% of the black vote. That's exactly what it was.
Wow.
Yeah, I also
Crazy.
said Hispanic men would come out in droves for him because they're religious and they don't like a lot of the gay stuff being pushed. Like I know I said for a fact exactly what would happen in the to a granular level of detail, you know.
Yeah,
And that's why
yeah.
it's so amazing to me to get back to where we were going is the people's responses to the election have been all over the fucking board, Sam. You've seen freakouts. We talked about the freakouts already. Then there's the Dems trying to make sense of it without admitting she was a bad candidate, one, and that their policies are widely considered to be a massive failure for two, right? Those two things are really hard hurdles to get over.
Yeah, but I mean, I imagine that like and like I was actually thinking of this yesterday. Like the Dems kind of have to admit that their policies suck, and also like who? I mean, I know they have Fetterman, and I know they have oh, I can't think of his.
Yeah, but they make fun of Fetterman. They call him stupid, right? He had a stroke. But then he says reasonable things, and they don't like that either because it went. Does Fetterman, in hindsight, look like the smartest Democrat in the room? Well, maybe, but I got another nominee for you, Sam.
Well, yeah, we were talking before the show, and this one kind of surprised me a little bit.
When is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez the reasonable voice of Democrats? You'd say never, or you might say in a dire circumstance, right? But absolutely, so people were making clips of the stream that she did, okay? And they took it out of context in a lot of cases because she was asking legitimate questions. She was shocked to learn, Sam, that a large contingent of her voters in her district voted for both her and Donald Trump. And she was trying to make sense of this. She was asking her voters legitimately, blindsided by that, in chat, hey, if you voted for me and Donald Trump, please explain this to me. And she was reading what people were saying, and she was responding to it reasonably.
Oh, so this was like one of those Instagram live things where, you know,
yes.
Okay, I gotcha. See, that's something I am glad that you brought that up because
it was not a monologue. Just to be clear, people are cutting clips. Some of the clips they're cutting is of her reading chat too. I think it's really dishonest.
Right. Well, no, I am glad that you bring that up though, because a lot of the videos I've seen make it like if I didn't know that, I would think that she was doing a monologue video, you know, like sometimes I do on Twitter or something like.
And she polled them. She polled her audience on several questions that would make sense. Okay, if you think about her being genuine for 1 second, ignore if you've heard she's stupid. Ignore if you've heard this she's fake. If you ignore all of that and just reasonably, as a person in office, she obviously knows her and Donald Trump are diametrically opposed.
Yeah.
So why are so many, the majority, in fact, of her voters voting for Donald Trump? Well, it's because they're majority Latino. And one of the things they said was the Latinx thing. And she said,
Yeah.
I didn't realize how many people were actually offended by that. It's kind of being counterproductive then, isn't it?
Well, yeah. I mean, this is the whole thing. I think even a lot of when I say that I know reasonable Democrats, people always scoff at me, but I do know normie demo. I do know normie.
I'm not saying
Democrats.
she is a reasonable Democrat either. I'm saying she was looking at it with reasonable eyes and saying, hey, why did you vote for Trump? And you know what they basically told her? The economy means more than your abortions.
Well, and also
they like her messaging. Hold on, they like her messaging on the economy, and they also like Trump's messaging on the economy. That's what they were telling her.
Yeah, yeah.
What they didn't like is the Biden-Harris messaging on economy.
Yeah,
which is suffer more, poor people.
well, it's interesting that they like both Trump's message on the economy and her message, because in many ways in many ways it's diametrically opposed. But again, this has always been one of my big points for like the last few years, is that I think now the Democrats are starting to realize that get woke, go broke is actually a thing. The left has pushed the culture war shit way too far.
Well, the corporations have, for sure. The corporations are starting to abandon that shit left and right. And they fund all the politics now, as we've established. So if they're abandoning it, and after this election, they were abandoning it before the election, Sam. Think about that. Microsoft was purging a lot of unionizing woke employees. EA is definitely going to get rid of the people behind the new Dragon Age, right? Basically, BioWare's dead studio law.
Absolutely.
Sony got rid of the Concord team. Woke is just getting pushed out. They're getting rid of diversity teams. So they knew before the election, but the election is just an exclamation point to them. And as the corporations go away from woke, nobody's going to be there to fund these angry 20-something Zoomer women anymore. And that's why they're not protesting, actually. It's because the corporate interests have no reason for them to do so right now. They're taking their loss.
Well,
the corpos are just readjusting already, right? Whereas the Democrats are talking about it, the corpos are already got a plan moving. And that plan seems to be to work with Trump so that he doesn't fuck them.
Well, that, and also, I mean, this is funny, but also true.
The only protest that I've seen was one in Chicago.
The funny thing is that the economy is so shitty right now that not even the corpos have the money to stage their fake protests. And I'm partially joking, but not really too. I mean, the economy is tough for everyone, even for someone like my cousin who is
it's not worth the payoff. That's what it is. George Soros will fund infinite fucking riots if he wants to. But what's George Soros going to do? He's going to say, well, fuck. Taking the mask off didn't work, boy. And actually, if you read Soros's website, that's what he's been saying.
Yeah.
He's been saying going mask off is bad. Take it back. Calm down.
Yeah, they pushed too far and revealed their hand, and people are realizing that.
Well, they're pushing not stuff he likes either, like the Palestine stuff. The protesters have kind of lost the plot in a lot of ways from who's feeding them the money.
Yeah. So
who would have seen that coming? Oh no.
So I guess, Max, one thing I want to pose to you, and the American Watchmen guys might be joining us here shortly, but Trump is going into office, and it's looking like we have a trifecta. We have Congress, we have the presidency, and so far we have the court. what would you gentlemen, both Mortheous and Max, like to see Trump get done within the first 2 years? Well, we have everything in carte blanche, basically.
First and foremost is peace, right? For me, negotiating peace in Russia and Ukraine seems to be. I mean, it's they're talking. That's good enough. Obviously the situation in Israel and Palestine is a little trickier. But these are things that I definitely would like to get seen taken care of easily because they're easy. They're easier to fix with an America First policy than a lot of the economic things that are going to take some time, right? And they're, the way you say America First is that you say we're going to keep our money and our blood to ourselves, and we're going to take our boys home because we're going to need those boys and girls. I try and remember that there are lots and lots of women that serve in the military. In whatever role they serve in, they all belong at home, and we're going to need them with these mass deportations. And that's number two. The mass deportations, I'm pretty sure it's gonna happen very quickly. And then number three is obviously the economic stuff, but I think that number one and number two kind of trickles into number three, because if we didn't have so much war, well, I guess number three is like unleashing stuff like energy production at home, which is kind of the centerpiece of his whole campaign. And yeah, I'm kind of rambling, but I'm basically saying what he says he's going to do because that's what I've wanted him to do when it wasn't as dire as it is now to do so,
Yeah.
I was one of the few people in 2016 saying I supported mass immigrations openly then, when even he said, maybe not. We'll try and do it. We'll go for the criminals for it, right? I was like, no, I think we need mass. Like, they have to go back. You have to go back to your country of origin, and you have to get in line. Period. End of story. I don't care if you're a criminal or a non-criminal. I don't care if somebody dragged you here against your will. The best thing we could then do is try and reunite you with your family, but you have to go back. We don't have the we don't have the resources.
So you must have been in Nirvana then when Trump named his new border czar, whose name escapes me right now.
Yeah. Also putting Tulsi in charge of intelligence is an amazingly wise decision.
Oh yeah, like that. That's actually like shadows of deception. Like that's something I would do.
Yeah,
and of course, the big
also,
meme is the Elon Musk one. I'm sorry, Mort. Go ahead.
I'm all set for Max's number one and number two, but right on board. But my number three is fucking keep the Keystone Pipeline again.
That's what I meant by like energy production, right? It's like Keystone Pipeline.
I wanted to be more specific
fracking.
and say Keystone, kick that open, let's get that going again.
Yeah, that's number one on his energy platform anyway. So for sure that's gonna, like, if he could talk Biden into doing it early, that'd be great, so we can start getting guys out there and get some new jobs. Maybe even then Biden goes out on his final quarter with picking up a few jobs. That'd be good for his little fucking legacy or whatever, right? But yeah, it seems to me that the Elon Musk thing is the big one for me in particular, obviously, Sam. You heard about this, right? The Department of Government Efficiency.
Yeah, that's amazing. So good. So fucking good.
And by the way, I do want to let people know, because
I would like to nominate myself for a job in that particular administration's working, Sam. I could cut them some motherfucking corruption and inefficiency in a heartbeat. You want to point out some government inefficiency? I'm a fucking hound dog for it.
Yeah, I mean, I was just gonna say too.
Those 83,000 in the IRS, get rid of those immediately.
Yeah. Take back all those guns we issued to them. Look, I think that every American can own a gun. I just don't see why we need to pay for IRS agents to have guns. They're not cops.
No.
They're not allowed to carry them. So we're just buying them a gun. Wow, cool. No, that shit needs to stop. The $80,000. Did you know some of the times that Sam you see invoices from
you
like
want
FOIA
to give
requests?
fucking IRS fucking agents fucking guns, but you're fucking everyday citizen and you want to take our guns away. Fuck you.
Yeah. Oh, but government waste is so much worse because it's like $80,000 went to this toilet. No, it didn't. Where'd the money go? Well, it went to the 35 people that got their hands in the fucking till taking the money out. And then when they were all done, they all pocketed so much money that there was just enough left to buy a toilet. What was the original grant? $65 million. They spent 80,000 of it on a toilet.
It
That's
would be
itemized line by line on these reports, Sam. And you will look and you'll be like, why is there a $50,000 hammer?
Oh yeah. Well, the funny thing about the IRS is that, like, if you get if your shit's not in order, the IRS will audit the hell out of you. But I've always wondered, like, if someone audited the actual IRS, how they would do.
Terribly.
They would fucking fail.
Yeah.
My suspicion is that the IRS would fail their own audit. And so that's kind of why, like, that's actually like one of the first organizations I want to be audited.
The American people are always, generally speaking, pro audit anything in the government.
Yeah.
And if they don't know what an audit means, once you explain it to them, they're like, yeah, do that to the government. Yes, let's audit that.
And like the IRS is one of those organizations that, like, people on both sides of the aisle just like fucking hate. You mentioned the IRS, left, right. Most people are like, man, fuck that. Fuck that agency. So
well, we could take it further. Intelligence is a commodity now. It's worth a lot of money, right? So we should probably also audit the intelligence gathered by, like, the NSA, the CIA, and just make sure.
Yeah.
It's all on the up and up, and everything has its proper warrant. And I'm sure there'll be no corruption in any of that data, right? And I'm sure it'll never have been leaked that we didn't even get told about or anything like that, right? Because government's the most efficient thing in the world, obviously.
I was that might, props to you for saying that with the straight face or trying to. But yeah, no, I think the government efficiency is like, that's one of the top ones. One thing I do want to ask you about, Max, is what do you think of Marco Rubio being named as Secretary of State? Because I can't
even hear his name with a pause without thinking of the time that guy yelled is owned by Jews and Freemasons at him, because it was such a fucking funny moment. Like, they let this guy in and all he wanted to do was yell, Marco Rubio is owned by Jews and Freemasons. And it's like, man, well, he had his schizo moment because it's burned into my mind. I'm sorry, Sam. I just always find that funny, and I can't hear his name without thinking about that.
But
it's kind of like when you hear Jeb, you think, please clap. Marco Rubio, it's owned by Jews and Freemasons, which I wouldn't even have a problem with necessarily.
My take on
it's an interesting pick. It's an interesting pick.
Yeah, my take on Marco Rubio is a little different than some other people who I know, but I'm curious to hear your opinion.
A lot of Cubanos are strong on him as a pick, as I understand it.
Yes, a lot of a lot of people are concerned that that Marco Rubio is like some sort of deep state guy or something, and that he's an establishment GOP guy. And, even if he's an establishment GOP guy, I actually think he's a good choice. And the reason being is he is actually, and I will give him credit for this, he's been stronger on immigration and actually needing to do something about it more than anyone else in the party prior to Donald Trump.
He's also strong on the Cuban question, and he's also been a strong supporter of Israel, which all aligns very much with Trump's foreign policy, and that's probably why he picked him. If I were to guess, that's why he picked him.
And specifically, we just mentioned Trump's borders are, a moment ago. Rubio wants to work on securing the border, so those two are really going to work hand in hand. So, like, I know that like a lot of the diehard Trump supporters, like, oh, Marco Rubio is deep state. No, he's, what I would ask those people what proof they have that Rubio's deep state. Just because he was kind of like establishment doesn't necessarily mean that you're deep state. So don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. I would say.
That's right.
Yeah. So, I mean, anything to add or about Rubio?
He's picked so many outsider wild cards that if there's one establishment person in there, I'm not that concerned.
Yeah, that's kind of my point too. I feel like my mom.
This is what I mean about like the grifter right, Sam. Let's scrutinize every fucking thing he does and with a fine-tooth comb for the next, because we need you to watch our fucking show and click the like button and donate to the fucking Patreon, and it's so tiring. Like,
sure, he's establishment, but you got to give the establishment something, unfortunately.
Yeah,
I don't even know about that, because he's always been cool with Rubio since after that primary in 2016. Like Rubio also has been a very valuable senator to Trump's agenda when he was a senator, particularly as Sam pointed out on immigration, because he was strong on that even before Trump, as well as he was very helpful in keeping the Trump agenda alive in the Biden, when Biden was there in Congress, working with Rand Paul, working with Ted Cruz. So I think calling him an establishment is just kind of, he's been a Trump loyalist ever since that primary,
I feel like the term deep state now kind of gets like used as a buzzword to like describe anyone who like the fringe, not even fringe, but anyone who the grifter right doesn't like.
No matter who he picks, there's gonna be people that are like, that's a shill. I don't like them. They're established. Like, this is what happened. Contrarians, and people in the attention economy who need to get clicks. They have to have a take on this at all. Like, I'll wait and see how it. Like, that's my honest opinion. But we do a show, so you're gonna ask, so I'll give my take. But generally speaking, I was gonna wait for my like overall take of his picks to see them all. Although I have seen some that jumped out, like obviously the Elon Musk thing is an interesting proposition, but it's just like, we'll argue about that he picked this person who we mostly don't care about until now, and now we'll say they're bad because they supported this policy one time. It's funny because they'll all say Tulsi's great. Tulsi's great, but she supported gun confiscation 4 years ago.
And
if you're willing to overlook her changing her mind on such a vital issue, it's amazing to me that you can't think that maybe Marco Rubio is more of a Trump guy in 2024 or whatever. It's silly.
Well, thank
Splitting hairs.
Thank you, Max, because I've actually been arguing with some people about that very thing, like on Twitter today, and like Rubio, like or not, has actually done more to keep Florida conservative than Mr. Ron. I can't take a white joke DeSantis, so.
And he's younger than a lot of the establishment Republicans, and I don't know. I see a new blood of leadership rising, and I see some people like the Ann Coulter types. It's like, I don't like it even when I win, just because I don't want to like it. Yeah.
Well,
Like,
people
that's
like
what I said about, can the black pillars go away now? The answer is no. They never go away.
well, yeah, that's the thing. Sometimes people are. One thing I've noticed is that like there's a certain percentage of media people who are just they're so used to like always fighting that they don't know how to not fight and celebrate. And so like everything is going to, become a grift and a fight, and because that's how they make their money. And we don't have to.
Bingo.
So,
How did Alex Jones get so schizo, Sam? He needed you to watch his show.
Yeah.
He needed you to watch his show. And when he was talking about like really dry cases of police abuse, nobody was watching his show. They started watching his show when he started screaming about the New World Order and lizard men. Okay?
Yeah.
Alex Jones wasn't made that way by anything else except the attention economy. He's like the case zero of it.
No, and what's funny, it's funny you mentioned that, Alex, because like I think it was about a month or two ago, like you actually mentioned that like Alex Jones used to be more socially acceptable to like listen to in an office place than Rush Limbaugh was at one time, which is wild, to me, or really anyone else who like who knew of Alex like after 2000, like
Well, because
6
kind
or
of the
7.
punk left liked him because anti-war,
Yeah. Yeah.
Until they didn't. Until they got told how he's a Nazi or whatever they say about him
Yeah.
now. I'm not even sure. He's crazy. I don't think he's crazy at all. I think he's. I mean, I do the same bit where I just say bullshit to make people laugh.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's a big part of his show, Sam.
Yeah, he's also like
he rips his shirt off and acts like a jackass. You think he doesn't know he's a jackass?
There are people who are actually upset that like he's not press secretary. I like the meme of
funny, but no.
Yeah, I like the meme of him. I like the idea of him being secretary, of him being press secretary as like a meme. But in all seriousness, like no, that like any one of us would be a better press secretary than Alex Jones.
It would be fun to watch. It would be the most counterproductive thing they could possibly do.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah.
Reaching out the way because that's what I think people are missing. What's the first thing he's done now is reach across the aisle to people that were formerly on the left and give them positions within his cabinet.
Yeah.
He's very divisive, though,
Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, people also forget that, like, Elon Musk was a liberal, like, up until, like, just 3 years ago.
I met Vivek Ramaswamy at a Libertarian Party fundraiser.
Yeah.
He was not a dyed-in-the-wool conservative Republican. And Tulsi was a Democrat, and RFK is from like kind of the health nut left, which is separate from like the mainstream left in a lot of ways because it's anti-corporate. I think that's what I've seen, and it was fun talking to your friend during the election stream because he clearly was from like what I consider to be the populist left, right?
Yeah, Josh.
They have been taking a fucking lap themselves because they deserve one too, because they called all the same shit we saw. They might not agree with like our take on things or our policy prescriptions, but they fucking diagnose what's going on with the Democrats pretty effectively on what I would call the populist left.
Well, and to be fair,
and
Josh,
so Bill Maher taking a lap, go for it, brother. Jimmy Dore, all those guys, yeah, good job. And your friend, he and your friend and I, what did we bond over? We're both anti-corporate, and
Yeah, and to be fair, like Josh actually was the guy who I was kind of like not really arguing with, but just he was kind of worried that Rubio would be kind of like, the Warhawk guy. And yeah, well, and like I said,
That's a fair criticism, especially with his hard line on the Israel question. That's a good concern. That's something I would actually take seriously. Yeah.
that is a good concern, but like I said, I think it's way too early to tell. And this is really a case of we really can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
You also have to remember that even if one pick ends up being bad, if there's so many picks that are good, it has a lot less of an effect if one person goes rogue, as it did last time.
No, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Like last time, he was surrounded by these people with their own interests, leading him in the wrong direction. Now he's surrounded by his own people. So if one of them people tries that kind of shit, it's a little easier to just swat them away.
Also, as someone who, because I write spy thrillers and whatnot, and I've done research, like I'm not sure that people fully understand like that the director of national intelligence like oversees all the intelligence agencies. So if Rubio goes full Warhawk and says, "Oh, we need to go into Syria or something like that," I'm just using as an example. Tulsi can like check in with all the intelligence agencies and be like, either okay, there's a legitimate reason, or no, we don't, Marco. And so that's kind of what the DNI.
I don't understand why it's even a concern though, because he can't do that kind of thing without convincing Trump that it's a good idea.
Right. But
it's almost like people vote for him, pray for it, get super excited about it, and then they're like, "Man, but I have no faith that he'll do a good job." Like, calm down.
Well, or here's the thing. They think that because Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State, that the Secretary of State is like somehow omnipotent. The Secretary of State still serves at the behest of the President.
Yeah. She just happened to have a rubber stamper in chief.
Yeah.
To her agenda.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, Hillary literally had like look, Obama, we made you.
Boys, he told Nikki Haley to hit the bricks. Give him a break.
Yeah. He told Mike
Pound sand, bitch.
He told Nikki Haley and Mike Pompeo to both pound sand.
You know what I heard, Sam, is I heard he sent Chris Christie a message saying that he might have a position for him if he would just and then there was another package sent, and it was a delivery of a meatloaf, and then you just had to eat that. And so apparently Chris Christie did eat the meatloaf. I have confirmation on that. But he will not be getting a job in the cabinet. So
you know what I heard.
Probably laced with X-Lax.
You know what I heard, Max, is Bobby Kennedy, because he's like the food czar. I guess Chris Christie is upset because Robert Kennedy like wants to pull all like the really like shitty junk food that Chris Christie likes to eat. So like I guess RFK is like personally overseeing Chris Christie's weight loss program, which like
right. But that's okay, Sam. He's not gonna see the full context because Trump said it might take 2 years, and Chris Christie will be dead by then. Look at him.
Yeah.
Chris never met a Krispy Kreme he didn't eat. Christie.
Yeah.
He's fat, is what I'm trying to say, Sam. He's very fat.
Fat. Well, okay. Fat is
sweats bacon. He's rotund.
I mean, yeah.
His jowls have jowls. Some remarkable thing.
He should be a fat influencer.
He's obese.
Well, yeah, he's body positivity all day, bro. Look at him. How could he not be? He's mad that Lizzo took that Ozempic shit, you know? He's like, oh, well, you're a traitor to fat people. Yeah, it was a terrible day when he heard that Lizzo lost all that weight, Sam. Chris Christie, he had to go to Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, you know?
Yeah. So what else is going on?
Besides Chris Christie's weight problems, nothing. Literally, that's it. That's the whole news cycle. Is Chris Christie's fat?
Yeah, Chris Christie's
All
fat.
right, ladies and gentlemen. No.
Chris Christie's fat. Trump's got so far seemingly good cabinet. Man, just like I said, 3 books this year. Working on book number 4 for 2025, and man, I just and new show on the network, Shmuley Says, which I think is pretty good.
It's not Shmuley says, it's Shmuley Says.
I know that. You know, good guy though.
You know that's a Shmuley joke, right? Because he would totally do that to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was a fun time. Like I said, we discussed a bunch of issues. She brought even it's funny, Shmulina comes on and she really didn't have, I thought, much background in politics or whatever, is kind of what I was told. And then she came on and she had the exact same dislike of corporate media and the social media algorithm that I do, just instinctively, which shows a smart person.
Well, I mean, I think most smart people like hate corpo media now.
Oh, it's so drab. Like, if you like art, like what they're serving you is generally just slop. It's garbage. It's mass produced, barely any thought put into it. You know, like, my God, how long did Snow White take to produce? And then how long does a Disney film? They produce one every like 3 months now. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
They're not of the same quality as Snow White. They're all fucking forgettable.
Yeah, well, again, that's the other thing is like
Rachel Zegler fucked that movie up so.
Well, people forget that like DC had like a Batgirl movie that was like finished on the shelf and then got canceled. That's how bad it was.
I mean, that's hilarious. I thought they played like a season of it and then canceled it. I'm pretty sure.
No. This isn't the shitty TV show.
Yeah, it was not. No, he's talking about an actual movie there, Max.
Oh. Well, yeah. I mean, the writing is just dog shit these days. You know what I was going back doing, Sam? I was watching old comedies. So, you know, going back to kind of my roots of comedy, what influenced me the most, and it's shit like Kids in the Hall, right? And I don't know if you're familiar. It's a 90s kind of sketch comedy show. It's from Canada. And, you know, what's interesting about that show is they wrote the show like you were smart and that you would get the jokes.
Yeah.
Isn't that a novel concept? Because now what they do is this different thing.
They do now.
Yeah, where they explain the joke to you in excruciating detail, or they do that non-comedy shit like The Office, where it's just like, haha, it's supposed to be funny because they're staring uncomfortably at the camera for 25 seconds.
Yeah. That I don't think I've even watched like most. I haven't watched a sitcom in probably years.
Look, Sam, I'm The Office. Did you see? I stared at the camera uncomfortably. I'm a fucking comedy genius.
Also, did you get like a paper thrown at you or something?
Yeah. I mean, that just comes with the territory. It's comedy.
Well, that that
There's a tough
kind
crowd
of,
in here tonight, Sam. That's all.
well, the crowd has kind of been the crowd has kind of been quiet a little bit, even though the crowd, on Saturday was like, the star of the show. So,
Yeah. Screaming
The
about
crowd was
politics.
great
Is that what you
Saturday.
mean, Sam? Actually, she was screaming at you about wrestling. You Liv Morgan perv.
guilty as charged. So,
See?
um,
He's like, "Yup. What of it?"
yeah. So shoot. I thought we would have like a lot more to talk about with the Trump administration, but so far there's not much else to say. Other than I'm happy. Like that's all I can say. It's amazing, like how you don't have to ramble when you're actually like happy about the results of stuff.
Well,
So
I told you, Sam. I looked through my magic looking glass into the other timeline, right?
ooh, tell us about the other
Yeah.
timeline.
Yeah, and so in the other timeline, Kamala won, but the popular vote she still lost, and so right now, they are calling to enshrine the Electoral College forever, and also they're passing a law that says no orange man can ever run for president again. That's the other timeline where Kamala won. They're already passing it, Sam. It's on President Harris, who, by the way, in that timeline, Joe Biden has already stepped aside and she's already president. And she's signing a law that's going to ban, eviscerate, and strew the remains of Orange Man across the countryside. That's her first act.
Oh, thanks for reminding me about this, Max. There is a Blue Anon conspiracy out there. I'm not sure if you've heard of this one.
Oh,
Well-
no, but I'm sure it'll be obviously real.
Well, Kamala could still become the first female president. All Biden has to do is step down.
It's true.
Which
That's
is
not a
true.
conceit. It's true.
Which is true, and the Blue Anon people think it's going to happen. My whole thing is like, why would Biden like do that?
I say do it. I say do it.
First ever female president. That's why, Sam.
Yeah, but the problem is then they can never get that one again. They don't have the first anymore. So go ahead. What's she gonna do? She's like, they've already agreed they're gonna go along with the transition, right? So what's she actually gonna do? Nothing. Is she gonna get a tie? They're literally calling for a participation trophy, Sam.
Pretty much. Again, DEI president.
That sounds about right for them, honestly.
Literally all they ever do. It's DEI.
I've also heard like rumors that like Biden secretly voted for Trump. I'm sure you've seen those.
Heard that as well. Yes.
I've heard rumors that Biden and Trump were secretly blowing each other at that meeting today, Sam. I can't reveal my sources though.
Is the Kremlin going to release that tape too?
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife's looking at me in disgust.
Well, I mean, look, I actually wouldn't be surprised.
Just that MAGA energy, Sam.
I actually wouldn't be surprised, in all seriousness, if Biden voted for Trump.
Oh, I thought you were going to say if they blew each other.
Well, that either. It's not like Biden's going to remember.
That's true too. I honestly wouldn't be surprised.
Gave me
If,
a Hummer. It was tremendous. Took his teeth out. Was fantastic.
And then he forgot it was Tuesday.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if Biden voted for Trump just to say fuck you to
It was way better than when
Wow.
Kamala did it.
come on. Oh my god. I'm sure you've seen that is one of the funny TikToks that Max Ian shared with me is
Joe got that sloppy toppy.
is the video of Doug Imhoff. It says,
Kick his ass, Maxine. Kick his ass.
It's saying that Kamala says basically saying she put her head down and did what she did best. And
That's right. Suck dick.
Yeah, I mean that's how she got the job, basically.
That's right.
So
Dick. I mean, you got to give it. She worked hard, Sam. Just every day, just dick. You know. Kamala,
Yeah.
shout out to her work ethic in the realm of sucking dick.
Well, that's
She's a working girl, if you know what I mean, Sam.
that you know what? That might actually be her biggest to come. I know people say that she hasn't had any accomplishments, but man, I don't think anybody sucked more dick in DC.
She sucked her way to the top.
Yeah, she blew her way to the top, and you know what? That's an accomplishment that, I mean, I can't say that. None of us can say.
Nobody can take that away from her ever.
Yeah.
That's why they call her a brat, Sam.
Well, yeah. Well, thank God the adults are in charge again. So
the brats got spanked in daddy's home. That's what happened. They don't like it. They're crying. They're throwing a tantrum. They'll be okay. They're gonna sulk in their room for a little while, and they're gonna come down, and they're gonna be like, "Please, Daddy Trump, can I have some dinner?" And he's gonna be like, "Of course you can have it. It's the best dinner ever. It's a tremendous dinner. We'd spared no expense for this dinner. Why were you in your room?"
Danny, check the Twitter chat.
Okay.
The Elon thing.
Let me.
Yes. Check the thing. Did you get the thing?
Oh my. Yeah, I did, and wow.
What a thing it is.
It's a very cool thing. Indeed.
How big is it?
12 inches.
There you go.
Well, there we have it, folks. The Department of Government Efficiency.
Of course, they
Doge.
have a little fucking Shiba Inu as a fucking logo. Of course they do. And of course it's named Doge because Elon just can't get over that joke. To be fair, though,
it's the best joke in the world,
he did make. You heard that song, right? That he produced fucking R.I.P. Harambe, though. That's just pretty. It's a banger.
Yeah, I did hear that. So
R.I.P. Harambe, sipping on some Bombay. Yeah, like he can't help it. He's a memer. He's a nerd. He's one of us, and now he's basically in charge of the whole federal government. Sam.
I love it. I love this timeline.
And he's got a little American flag on his cute cartoon dog. I don't know though. I'm still partial to Luce. Luce, I think, is the best mascot of 2024.
You know what?
You can't beat the little Catholic anime girl, right? Like that's awesome.
You know what? Max? He probably designed that logo using Grok.
What a lazy fuck. So you telling me this man is worth tens of billions of dollars and he's gonna make a logo the same way my fucking broke ass would make a logo.
Yep.
What a crock of shit, Elon Musk. You couldn't even hire a goddamn art team? No, of course not. He's too fancy for that.
Well, I used Grok to make this.
You're not a billionaire, Sam.
Not yet, ladies and gentlemen. But if you buy enough copies of the Shadows of Deception saga, I will be. So
he's got me there. How many copies do we need to sell to make Sam a billionaire? Like 80 million?
Oh,
let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go, audience.
Well, I will say this: I've sold more copies than a lot of the quote unquote New York Times, listers, because I don't have to buy 80 million copies of my own book to be on that list.
You don't have to sell 5 million to China?
Nope.
Huh. Maybe you're doing something wrong. Think of all those Chinese people who are totally reading all those books that they buy in English.
So
they're going to miss out on Shadows of Deception. That's a bummer for the Chinese, isn't it, Sam?
that is a bummer for them.
I was going to say only in America, but I'm pretty sure, Sam, that your books ship worldwide anywhere Amazon does.
They do, and with 2-day free shipping as well.
2-day free shipping, you say? This sounds like a fantastic deal.
2-day free shipping, or if you're more, next day free shipping.
Yep. So,
or if we don't like you, it's like, still the same shipping.
Yeah, it's standard for shipping for non-prime, people, I guess. So.
Oh well, I'm pretty sure you're gonna have to have a membership of something now to be a citizen in this country. Isn't that what this election was about? You got to have your Prime membership and your Twitter check mark, or they're gonna put you in the camps.
I don't remember hearing that, but that would be hilarious.
And
also you must have, you must have a bottle of Prime energy drink on your person at all times. This is a new Trump regulation they're putting in. I think it'll go over well.
Alrighty. Yeah, I sorry, I'm getting a text right now, actually.
Also, feather boas now required in public. Sam, did you hear about this?
I call BS. So no, I did not.
Yeah, no. You got to wear a feather boa and either red or yellow do-rag in public now. At least on, I believe it's Saturdays. Trump was quoted as saying that Saturday's all right for fighting, so you got to look nice.
I know Max, I hate to tell you this, but you can't, the Babylon Bee is still satire mostly. So
what do you mean? No, my source is my crystal ball, Sam. I told you this. Damn it.
Well, that's even worse. Also, I can hear Maxine in the background.
No, it's always accurate, Sam. The crystal ball has never been wrong because you don't even correct me. I say all this stuff from the crystal ball and you're just like, oh, okay. And speaking of that, so I just assume that it must have 100% accuracy rate. Why? Was it wrong on anything? If anything I said but not true, I got to tune my crystal ball.
Why would we correct you, Max? It's kind of funny.
Yeah, why would we correct you?
Well, because then I'll know that my crystal ball isn't working and I can calibrate through the ether field with it to get a better reading.
You know
She
what?
just missed. She just
I-
threw 3 things at me and missed by inches all 3 times.
You know what? I mean,
Didn't miss
Hey.
that time.
Hey, you don't want to tempt fate because she will kill you on air one of these days. Two,
Ooh.
I didn't. Your loving wife, and then she'll smother Mort and I to death after she disposes of your body.
Yeah, just hide the body, Maxine.
So also, I guess the American Watchmen guys are not coming this evening, so it is just us. But anyway, I don't have much of anything else. What's on the docket for you guys for the rest of the week? Anything with Bits and Bones, sandwich makers? I know the ladies made an announcement regarding the future of the show.
Did they?
As of right now, we intend to have a Bits and Bones episode Sunday night at 10 p.m. Hopefully my system will hold up. Had to cancel this past week. Wasn't feeling that great.
That's understandable. It was a long week. So happens. As for me, I might be having a guest on Monday, but we'll see what happens. So to be determined. And anything going on for the sandwich makers?
They will have a show with her, Maxine and Penn. Chibi, I guess, is taking a sabbatical.
Yeah, that's kind of the announcement that I was referring to with the sandwich makers. So, but anyway, if there's nothing else, again, thanks for tuning in to the election stream last week. That seriously was a lot of fun, and yeah, folks, I'm just optimistic for the future. So there's really not much to rant about this week. Go and buy all my books, Blood Ties.
No, we could yell about the lesbian witches, Sam.
Listen, Max, I'm not sure that I already did
Send
that
them all to Salem.
I already did that on Monday, and
we got enough lesbian witches in Massachusetts already. They don't need to get sent to Salem.
There's no way that
okay, fine. Send them all to Martha's Vineyard.
Well, that's where they
send them to fucking New York, bastard.
Well, more a lot
fine,
of
send them to Long Island and then push Long Island into the sea.
That's oddly
specific. Yeah. What's that? Is there a Long Islander beef we're not aware of?
Yeah, New York. More. What's your problem with the Long Island?
Just in general, fuck NYC.
That's fair, but they're the more conservative part of it, though.
Yeah. Anyway, folks, I guess that will do it for this week's episode of the live show. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll talk at you down the road. Later, Gators.
The right to offend is not some pesky little part of freedom of speech that we have to put up with. It is the heart and soul and lungs of freedom of speech. It is the coursing lifeblood of human progress. It is the instigator of liberty and modernity and science and understanding. What a laughing stock today's student leaders are, that they can so casually dismiss the right to be offensive without realizing that their lovely, enlightened lives are the gift of individuals who gave offense. Offensiveness is not just something we have to begrudgingly accept. Offensiveness is the motor of human progress.
Thank you for watching the Whitfield Report live on the Right to Offend Media Network. Make sure to check out Sam's books on Amazon, Audible, and Kindle. You can follow Sam on X at SamW_NGC and the Right to Offend Media Network at RTO Media. Like, comment, subscribe, and share with your friends. And until next time, God bless, God save this great nation. God, freedom, legacy, in that order.